The biggest dilemma that any student will have in his entire life is at the age of 17 or 18 years when he completes the 12th grade examination, isn't it? So once you complete the 12th grade exam, you're way too confused whether you should go for medical stream, whether you should go for engineering stream or some other fields where you can excel in your career. Now, when we were in the school days, we were never confused because from 7th to 8th grade, you will definitely pass the exam. From 8th to 9th grade, you are again going to pass the exam. And there are two board exams which you give in your life. That is probably the 10th grade and the 12th grade. Now, the only decision that you have taken till now is whether you have to choose a science stream or a commerce stream or elsewise, isn't it? Now, once you have decided about all these things, now be it a student or be it a parent. So if any one of you watching this video, if you fall into any of this category, this video is for you because I'm going to cut down about all the options that you have after completing your 12th grade, and I would be emphasizing a little more on the options of medicine. So learning medicine, be it in India or be it in abroad. Now, once you complete your 12th grade, especially by taking the subjects like physics, chemistry and biology, so you would be in that race. What is that race? The race for getting over the NEET examination. As we know that all of you must be aware by this time that how many number of students are giving this NEET examination in India. Year by year, this number is increasing. Like if there were 12 lakh students a year before, in the last year we had almost 15 lakh Indian students giving the exam. Now once everybody is having this highly competitive exam, again there is a huge mismatch. The huge mismatch is with the number of students giving the exam and the number of seats that is available in India. So we all know that the government is trying its best to increase the number of seats in India. That is why this year government had approved a lot of medical colleges in India. However, the gap is so big that just by giving approval for few medical colleges in 1 year is not enough. This should be a continuous process. Let us hope that over the years to come, every state in India will have adequate number of medical colleges so as to cater to the demand of the students that we produce, isn't it? So now moving forward, once you complete your 12th grade exams, usually it will be around the month of March. So by the time the 12th grade exams are over, you need to be very active, be proactively preparing for NEET UG examination. So once you give the NEET UG exam, the 12th grade results are also here as well as the NEET UG results are also here. Now if you go through the statistics of the results of the NEET UG, you can see that not every student who applies for the exam is actually qualifying. How much percentage of the students are actually qualifying for a NEET UG exam? Any guess? Here, let us say that 15 lakh Indian students are giving the exam. On an average, around 50 to 55% of the students are actually qualifying for it. Now, what do I mean by qualifying? So from 15 lakhs, now I cut down this thing into almost 7.5 lakh Indian students now. So once there is 7.5 Indian students, now these students are now eligible to take up those 1 lakh medical seats which is available in India right now. It is very clear that almost 1 lakh students are going to take up the seats in India. But what about the remaining 6.5 lakh Indian students? So they are left with no options now. So once they are left with no option, that is how they are going to search for alternative options. Now what are the alternative options that is available? All of you, we know that it is going to be MBBS abroad. Now when we talk about this video, the process that happens for the students who get qualified in the NEET UG exam and who is securing a high marks, that is going to be entirely different because those are the students who will be going through the nationalized counseling. So they go for first round, second round, third round counseling, and from the counseling they decide whether they are going to secure a seat in a government university or in a private university. Now, when you compare between government and private, what has to be done is, in government, obviously the government has kept the fees way too feasible, so that is not going to affect your pocket anymore. But for the private universities, every state, every government has set a certain limit for the tuition fees. So this can vary differently from state to state. In some states, you may have to pay around 13 to 15 lakh rupees per year, whereas in some other states, it may again vary between 10 to 12 lakhs. So that is going to be different. We have a detailed write-up about all these things which we would be sharing with you after this video under this same YouTube video as a link for you to download as well. So let us talk about the remaining 6.5 or 7 lakh students who have actually qualified for the exam. However, when they went for counseling, they got to know that they were not able to secure a seat in any of the government or private medical colleges in India. Now what next? They have to check for alternative options. There is a myth that I would like to crack here, because the myth is that people say that whoever is having a lot of money, they go abroad for doing MBBS. In fact, when we see a lot of students, a lot of parents, we understand that these are not the students or the parents who have earned a lot of money or who are spending a lot. So these are the students who could not get that high ranks for the NEET UG exam, and they were not able to get through the counseling part, and they did not want to repeat one long year again taking a risk in this amazing competition that is waiting for them. So now what we are going to do is, regarding MBBS abroad, the first myth is that okay, you have a lot of money, you go for MBBS abroad. Wrong. All the parents, or let us say 70 to 80% of the parents we know personally, so they have all taken admissions for MBBS abroad, not because they had a surplus amount of money. There is a wish, there is a desire to see their son or daughter to be a qualified doctor. And even the child may also be having this dream of becoming a doctor. So it is irrespective for them, or it doesn't matter whether they are doing this education in India or they are doing this education abroad. Now once they have taken a decision about going abroad, obviously the relatives, the neighbors, all the friends, your family, everybody would be asking a lot of queries. To which country are you going to send him? He's just 17 years of age, he's just 18 years of age. Now after coming back, will he even get a registration to practice in India? So a lot of queries, and this thing was always there. Let me just go back to the year 2002, when the government of India with the Medical Council of India, they established the first MCI FMG exam. So when in 2002, when the FMG exam came in place, there were a lot of students from India. They had gone to countries like Russia. They were coming back with the MD degree from Russia, and they were directly going into practice. But in the year 2002, what happened? The Medical Council of India, they brought this exam. So ever since then, irrespective of the country you go, from every country when you come back, you need to give this licensing exam in India, and only after passing the licensing exam in India, you are eligible to become a qualified registered medical practitioner in the country. Now, every year there has been a lot of changes. The body itself has changed now. Medical Council of India, over a period of 22 years now, from 2002 till 2024, when I am doing this video, there is almost 22 years past, and almost during this 22 years, even the Medical Council of India has been replaced by the National Medical Commission. So ever since the National Medical Commission has come into place, so they have now passed a new regulation, and this has been published in the Gazette of India. Now what does this regulation say? The regulation say that anyone who is going abroad, they have to qualify all these prerequisites. If these prerequisites are not qualified, they won't be able to come back to India and practice as a qualified medical practitioner. Now, I just want to add what are the points that comes under the NMC Gazette. So the NMC Gazette mainly emphasizes students to go and pursue their MBBS degree only in English language. So whichever country you go, you can choose any country in the world, but if you go to any country, make sure that the language of instruction is going to be English. The second one is that whichever country you go, just pay attention to the duration of the course. What should be the duration of the course? Is it okay if you do a 4-year MBBS? Definitely no. Minimum 4.5 years of MBBS course is mandatory, so that it matches with the curriculum in India. So whichever country does not offer up to 4.5 years of MBBS, that is again going to be disqualified. Now after 4.5 years of MBBS, it is mandatory that you should be having a 1 year of compulsory rotational internship. Now what is internship? Like we call it by different names like house urgency, internship. So internship means that you have already completed your course. Now after completing the course, you need to do a rotational internship, which means 2 months in medicine, 2 months in surgery, 2 months in gynecology obstetrics, so 1 month in pediatrics, etc. So that is how you can do a rotation internship. That should be of 1 year of duration. Now after qualifying to all these points, the next thing is that the university where you are joined for medicine, this should be a recognized university. Now this recognized university means that years ago we had a complete list. When if you go to the Medical Council of India website, you can see that there is a list of universities recognized in China, list of universities recognized in Russia, list of universities recognized in Georgia, etc. But if you go through the NMC website right now, there is no such list. Remember, no such list. The only thing that you can do is whether the university is recognized by the WHO. You can go through this website www.wdoms.org. So if you go through this website, you can see the entire list of universities that is listed by the World Health Organization or the WHO. So this is the only thing. Along with that, when does a university get listed in the WHO? When the respective country has given it a accreditation. So that is the only way that we can check whether the university is recognized. And the last point in the Gazette, and which I suppose or I believe that is the most important thing, or this is a thing that is most debatable. Now what is that? Whether upon graduation, does this degree, is it at par with the citizens, to the degree offered to the citizens of that country, or is it a registrable qualification? This essentially means you go to any country, be it Georgia, be it Uzbekistan, be it Russia, be it China, any country, whichever country you go, the degree that you get, is it the same degree that is being awarded to the local citizens of the country, and whether this degree can be used to register as a qualified medical practitioner. So the norms of different countries may be different. Some countries may require that you undergo a licensing exam. Some countries may not require you to go into a licensing exam, etc. But all these are the key and essential features of this Gazette, which was published by the National Medical Commission in the year 2021. So all these rules are applicable for the students who have joined after 2021. But this decision of yours to take up a medical education in any country or any university is extremely important. The reason is, we have one more point in this Gazette that is published, that you are not allowed to take a transfer to any other university or any other country from where you have joined for the medicine program. Which means if you have ended up in a wrong decision, if you have chosen a wrong university, then you don't have a choice. You just drop your studies or you continue your studies and graduate there, even though you don't like the place or you don't like the university. So all these are the key points regarding the National Medical Commission regulation. So it is very, very important that, of course, we guide students. We would like to help all those parents, all those students who would like to know the information about what should be their decision, whether they should go for MBBS in India, whether they should go for MBBS abroad, or they should just drop the medical education and think about something else. And of course, whatever is your decision, we as career counselors, we would like to give you the exact information, the right information, so that you take a informed decision. If you ask us, definitely if you are a citizen of the country, if you are a citizen of India, definitely if you are getting a government seat in India, that would be the first choice, because that does not make you, you can just complete the course in for 5.5 years and you need not go through any licensing examination, and there is no any hassle like the FMG exam, etc. But in case you don't fall into a category where you cannot get a merit seat under the government quota, then definitely you can go through all the other options, because in our country where we have a lot of deemed universities which are considered to be private universities, sometimes the fees that you need to pay for 1 year may be around 20 or 25 lakhs, which may not be feasible for all the parents, for all the students. So in such cases, MBBS abroad can be a good choice. But even when you are going to take a decision about MBBS abroad, you need to understand that you need to completely comply with the NMC regulation. And after complying to the NMC regulation, you need to come back to India, give a licensing exam. And once you pass the licensing exam, you may have to do 1 more year of internship in India. And after doing the internship in India, only then you can become a licensed medical practitioner. So in simple terms, 6 years of education abroad, passing the FMG exam, giving 1 more year of internship, and then getting a registration. So it adds to around 7 years plus some more months that is consumed during the preparation for the licensing exam, etc. So 7 to 8 years, or let us say it can drag to how much ever time. It completely depends upon when you clear the FMG exam. And moving forward, there is also a discussion that is going on at the higher level that a new exam called NEXT can be implemented. So what is NEXT? NEXT exam is going to be the final year of MBBS exam for all the students who are joining in the country, in India, as well as this will be the exam which will replace the foreign medical graduate exam. So NEXT exam, if it comes into place, maybe in the next year or in the years to come. So once there is NEXT exam, no matter whether you have done your medicine from India or if you have done your medicine from abroad, in both the category of the students, they will have to give the exam. Then only they can proceed into internship and then proceed into the final registration in the respective state medical council. And if any country has been exempted by the government of India till now, it is only 5 countries, which means the US, Australia, New Zealand, UK and Canada. So if you get a chance to do a medicine program in any of these countries, then probably you will be exempted from giving this licensing exam in India. At that time, it may be called as FMG, it may be called as NEXT, we don't know, we don't have an idea. At the present context, it is called as FMG exam. But please understand one more point. Now don't have a lot of imagination about, let me do my medicine from the US. It's not a direct admission process. So we will be doing a separate video about the entire medical career pathway in the US, UK, Canada, Australia and New Zealand. But for now, there is no direct admissions possible. Whether you have money, whether you have a good mark in the 12th grade exam, still it is not possible that you take a direct admission in those countries. That is the reason why many of the Indian students, they choose to go to either European Union countries. So like Bulgaria, Romania, they all come under European Union countries. And many other East European countries like Georgia, Armenia, etc. Or many other countries, the Istan countries like Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan. And even recently, many students have started going to North African countries like Egypt as well. So we will be talking about each and every country, the pros, the cons, the entire system. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Keep watching this space because we are going to give you detailed information about every country, its medical system, so that you as a parent or you as a student can take an informed decision. Thank you so much.